Well, we are here today with Bob Proctor, and Bob is one of the speakers from the movie The Secret, and he's going to be we're going to be asking him some questions about the law of attraction and how we can use it in our own lives. So, Bob, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here today.
My pleasure, Andrew.
Awesome. Well, the first question that I really, I think a lot of people wonder about is about, when they first hear about the law of attraction, they're really, confused as to the whole scientific aspect of it. So, is it really based on science?
Well, absolutely. The law of attraction is based on the law of vibration. I quote Wernher von Braun, Dr. Wernher von Braun, who's actually the father of the space program, or is considered so by many, in The Secret, where he said that the natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't have any difficulty building spaceships, sending people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. Well, one of those laws is the law of vibration. The law of vibration decrees that everything moves, nothing rests. We literally live in an ocean of motion. And you attract to you according to the vibration you're in, and you control the vibration you're in by your thoughts. It's based on the law of vibration. It's a very real law. Nothing rests. Everything moves. We literally live in an ocean of motion. If you take a look at the wall that you're probably looking at and put it under a proper microscope, you'll see it as a dancing, gleaming form, Same as your body. Your body is a molecular structure, and the brain is an electronic switching station. And when you think, you activate brain cells. You set up vibrations, and according to the vibration, that determines what you attract.
Well, I think one of the things, Bob, that a lot of people don't really understand is how their own subconscious plays into what they attract. How does that really work?
Well, the subconscious mind is totally deductive. In other words, it can only accept, it cannot reject. It's the subconscious mind. It's the universal subconscious mind. It's not just your subconscious mind. Everybody's tuned into the subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind becomes programmed. And the programming then dictates the vibration you're going to be in. Programming is more commonly referred to as a paradigm. And so we're all programmed to operate the way we operate. And if we want to change our life, we have to change that programming. And if we're going to change the programming, we better find out how it works. How, first of all, I think it's necessary to find out not only how it works, but how we were programmed in the first place.
So part of really the secret to understanding that is to first become aware of what kind of programming that we have so that you can...
Well, that is not too difficult to do if we just spend a little bit of time thinking about it, because the programming is producing the results in your life. So if you want to know how you're programmed or what your paradigm's like, take a look at your results. Look at the people you're attracting into your life, the people you associate with. Take a look at the state of your health. How happy are you most of the time? What kind of money do you earn? This is all an expression of what's going on inside. And unfortunately, we've been programmed to live from the outside in rather than the inside out. We've been programmed to live through our senses. And so people keep looking at their present results, thinking about their present results, and producing more of the same. And if an individual is going to change, they've got to stop that in their tracks and start building an image of how they do want to live.
So one of the most important things then is to really create that image of where you want to be. Is that?
Well, exactly. Yes, the person should sit down and ask themselves, how do they want to live? They're in charge of their life. They may not understand that, but it's still so. Like, you're not responsible for building the program that's controlling your life, but you are responsible for changing it. It's been built genetically and environmentally. You've got a genetic form of conditioning. It's built right into the genes. A lot of your ancestors made decisions that are controlling your life right now. That's called genetic conditioning. And then you have environmental conditioning. If a baby's born into an English-speaking home, it'll probably grow up speaking English. But you can take that same baby from an English-speaking Anglo-Saxon home somewhere in America, raise it in a home in Beijing, and the baby'd probably grow up speaking fluent Chinese. A baby's linguistic genius at birth. And it speaks the language that it's surrounded by at birth.
Well, for someone and I love what you said there about responsibility. We do have the responsibility to change that programming. For someone that wants to commit that change, that wants to create, deliberately the life that they want to create, what's the best way to start creating that change for themselves?
Well, I think the best way to start creating the change is make a firm and binding decision that they're going to invest a portion of their income and a portion of their time into their own development. We invest money and time in almost everything under the sun but our own development. We look at it as though it's foolish, it's just another seminar or something like that. It's the way you're going to gain an understanding of how to change.
So what percentage of time and money would you suggest to someone, just starting to get into
I'm not really sure on that. I put almost all my time into it because that's what I work on. That's how I live. And I've been doing that now for going on 50 years, and I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my own development, but it's enabled me to earn millions of dollars. And I can show anyone how to do that. See, if you want to learn something, go to someone who has demonstrated by results that they know what they're talking about. You wouldn't go and ask your hairdresser or your butcher for flying lessons unless they were also excellent flight instructors. We don't get into a plane and learn how to fly a plane with someone that doesn't know how to fly a plane. But yet we asked our next-door neighbor how they think we should earn more money. How do you think we could be happier? Hell, if they knew, they'd have it. We've got to go to someone who has already demonstrated by results. I have been doing this now for teaching it for 39 years. I've been studying it since 1961, and we teach it all over the world. I'm always amazed at the number of people that laugh at what we're teaching, because the ones that are laughing are generally living sort of a sorry existence. They are not in control of their life.
Well, I've heard that practicing the law of attraction, Bob, can make you a different person when you go to bed from the one that woke up in the morning. And do you practice? How do you practice the law of attraction every day? Are there certain things that you do on a habitual basis?
Well, I can understand why you've asked the question, but it's not the correct question, Andrew, because that's like saying, do you practice the law of gravity? You see, you don't practice the law of attraction. You either work in harmony with it or you don't. It's like the law of gravity. Anything heavier than air is always going to be attracted towards the center of the earth. Now, we're raised to live in harmony with that law, and when we violate, which we do on occasion, we fall down and get hurt. Well, the law of attraction works exactly the same way. The only thing that you can attract into your life are those things that are in harmonious vibration with your life. You can't be entertaining sad thoughts and attract happy events. You cannot be thinking thoughts of poverty and attract wealth. You cannot be thinking about all the dull friends you have and attract interesting people. We've got to understand that the law of attraction is always working, and then consciously and deliberately bring our mind to bear on the kind of life we want. And when we do that, the law of attraction will bring it to us. They walk right into our life.
And I think what you said there is really key, because a lot of people look at it as something that they can practice or they can do, when really it's something that is permeated throughout every part of someone's life and every part of someone's day. So that's really great. But you also brought up another point there, Bob. I mean, how do you deal with negative people that may be around you, maybe in your family, who don't support you? Do you remove them from your circle? What do you do?
Well, first of all, I'm not around many people like that. I used to be, but I quit living around them and I quit hanging out with them. And I don't intend to spend a lot of time with people like that. I choose to look for the best in people. And if there's someone that is perpetually negative, I mean, they're just negative all the time, they can't see anything good in things, I don't spend a lot of time with them. I'm very selective about the people I do spend a lot of time with, because I want to enjoy being with people. And when I, am around positive people, if I'm not thinking, their thoughts are going right into my subconscious mind. So the answer to your question is, when I started to study this, I really changed a lot of my friends. And it's something that, first of all, we can only spend time with so many people. I'm fortunate that I attract people into my life in my work that really want to improve the quality of their life. I choose my friends. I am very consciously aware of the people that I choose to associate with, and I choose people who are dynamic, they're interesting, and they really want to make a contribution in the world. So I really just don't spend a lot of time with them. Now, you have relatives and friends who are on a negative plane, and they just seem to want to be that way. You don't visit them as often and you don't stay as long. You don't criticize them for the way they are. Say a quiet prayer for them. Look at the good in them, because there's good in everyone. So just don't go as often and don't stay as long.
Well, that's really great advice. Now, what about affirmations? Do affirmations work?
Absolutely. Absolutely, affirmations work. Affirmation is just a positive statement from yourself to yourself. I always start my affirmation by saying, I am so happy and grateful now that, and your affirmation should be in the present tense. Now that I'm feeling good all the time, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful for the friends in my life. I'm so happy and grateful for the abundance that's in my life and all that's coming. I'm so happy and grateful that every fiber of my being is vibrating in perfect harmony with God's laws. I become happier and healthier every minute of every day. Well, you couldn't repeat those things over and over without it impacting your life.
Right. So really what it does is by even saying that out loud, and particularly, what you'll do is you'll actually create that vibration, and you'll start attracting that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why you do it over and over and over, and through repetition, it gets fixed in your subconscious mind. When an idea is fixed, it's habitual. It automatically expresses itself without any work from you.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I think a lot of people have trouble with when they're learning how to really deliberately create their life through the law of attraction is really what is more important. I've heard some people say that it's the passion behind the things that you're thinking. Other people say it's the feelings. Other people say it's the faith that they have in what they're saying is coming true. And still others, really focus on the visualization, seeing that what you're trying to visualize as the strongest goal. In your opinion, Bob, what's the most important of the passion, the feelings, the faith, or the visualization?
Well, the faith is definitely the most important. See, faith is based on understanding. And understand, there's only one way to get to understand something, and that's to study. Now, there's all kinds of form of study, but understanding is the opposite of doubt and worry. See, understanding is based on knowledge. Doubt and worry is based on ignorance. Doubt and worry lead to fear. Fear leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to suppression. Suppression leads to depression. Depression leads to disease. And it's just a negative track we get on. Understanding comes from knowledge, and understanding leads to faith, and faith expresses itself in well-being. Well-being expresses itself, and it accelerates, and it's creative. So faith is absolutely everything.
Yeah, I've heard that. One of the books that really changed your life was Think and Grow Rich. And when I first read that book, the chapter on faith really made a huge impact on me, and I started to understand faith in a way that I never had before.
I've never stopped reading Think and Grow Rich. I started to read it in 1961. It's sitting beside me. I read it all the time. I read it a little bit every day.
Cool. Well, that's definitely the way to do it.
I've been carrying the same copy since 1963.
Wow. That's phenomenal. Now, one of the other questions that I have here, Bob, is I'm wondering if the intensity of the feeling that you have, or the vibration that you're sending out, whether it's positive or negative, does that bring about the results faster?
Absolutely it does. We don't know. If you draw a line on a piece of paper, just draw a horizontal line, maybe 6 inches long. On the left-hand end of the line, let's say that's start. On the right-hand end of the line, we'll say that's finish. Now, this is for the where you start an idea and where it manifests, or you build a vision and it manifests in physical form. We'll call that a timeline. And that's what's involved in goals. There's a timeline to reach a goal. No one knows what the timeline is. The time is determined by the law of gender. The law of gender decrees that all seeds have a gestation or an incubation period. Seed for a baby is around 280 days. For a carrot, where I come from, it's around 70 days. I think wheat is 90 to 120 days. Well, these are all physical seeds that we understand the gestation period for. No one knows what the gestation period is for a non-physical seed, and that's an idea. But an idea is made from the same formless substance as a physical seed's made from, and therefore subject to the same laws. Now, although we don't know what that time period is, if you take now and go to the right-hand end of the line and move back about an inch and put a little stroke through there, we know that we can shorten the timeline through concentration. Concentration is intensity. That's what you're talking about. That's done through the will. The will is a mental faculty that gives us the ability to concentrate, focus, and that's important. And the more you focus, the more energy you give to something. Emerson said the only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to.
Wow. Well, that's never heard that before. That's pretty interesting. So, what if someone's when they're visualizing, if they can't connect to the emotional core of what they're trying to visualize, let's say they're trying to visualize money, then they're going to have problems. What's the best way to create emotion when you're visualizing something?
Well, the best way to do it is to stop telling yourself you can't do it, and probably it would be easier if you quit visualizing money. Not too many people visualize money. It's what you're going to do with the money that you can get emotionally involved with. So you think of what you're going to use the money for, and that'll generally be easy to get emotionally involved with. You decide on the amount of money that you need to do whatever it is you want to do. You say, okay, that's what I'm going to bring into my life. And then you start to get emotionally involved with what you're going to do with the money. That'll bring the money to you because that'll fire up the engines. That'll move you into action.
Yeah, I definitely experienced that in our own lives. Sure. With that intensity and creating that emotion. Some things that I've kind of wanted to visualize, but I really didn't really want. They just never came to pass. But when something was intense, it happened all of a sudden, very, very quickly.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people don't understand, how quickly something can happen and how quickly we can start getting these instantaneous changes. I mean,
it's according to your faith. That's how fast it'll happen.
Perfect.
If you believe it'll happen fast, it'll happen fast.
Well, when you're learning about the law of attraction, you're trying to change the predominant thoughts that of what it is that you want. A lot of that means relearning some ingrained patterns that you have. What's the best way to just kind of drop those and focus in on what it is that you want to create?
Well, first of all, you shouldn't try and change too many things at once. You should only work on a couple of things at a time because it starts to become a bit of a heavy load. And if you're trying to change too many things, you usually end up changing nothing. So you just focus on changing one or two things at a time and train yourself. Every time you catch yourself thinking poverty, just stop. Say, wait a minute, and start to see yourself attracting money. If you're not feeling good and you're focusing on not feeling good, you're going to keep feeling that way. Start feeling good. Start to see yourself doing or being whatever you really want that'll really make you happy. Work on one or two things at a time until you turn it into a habit.
Well, that's great advice. And also when you're thinking about something and something bad pops into your head, you just let it go and change your mind as quickly as possible?
That's right.
Okay. Well, how do you maintain the focus, day in and day out to
I maintain the focus very easily because I'm going after what I want. Most people don't go after what they want. They go after what they think they can do. When you want something and you're really in harmony with it, you don't have a hard time thinking about it. If a person falls in love with another person, they don't have to write a note to themselves, think of Harry or think of Betty. I mean, that person's face and likeness is like a hologram sitting on the hood of the car. If you're driving down the street, everywhere you look, you see them. That's because you want that person. You're in love with that person. Well, when you fall in love with an idea, see, the problem with most people is they don't know how to get it, so they think they can't get it. We've got to see ourselves with what we want. You don't have a difficult time doing that. I never have any trouble focusing on what I want because I fall in love with the idea.
Well, and I think that's really key. I mean, that's the most important thing is to understand about how that really works and how you can create that in your daily life.
Well, if you sit down the night before you go to bed, like last night, and I think of the things I had to do. Now, there was something popped into my mind just as I went to get into bed. I had to turn on the lights, go back to my office, and write the note down that I had to do first thing this morning. I had to phone Glenn Carlson in London, England, because we're working at the Palladium this weekend. And so there was something I had to tell him. So I wrote it down. When I get up in the morning, I get on the phone and I phoned him. You make a list of the things you want to do that are going to move you towards your goal before you go to bed. When you get up, do them. It's not hard focusing on what you're doing when you can see it giving you what you want.
Well, do you have any bad days? How does that work for you, Bob?
No.
None at all.
I have times when I start to feel bad or negative thoughts come into my mind, but they don't come very often, and they definitely don't stay very long. And that's because I'm involved with people and with ideas that are very positive. They're upbeat. I don't want to spend time having bad days. We don't have that many of them, so we want to make them good, and we can make them good.
Well, what do you say to people that say they have no time to implement this kind of change?
I say a prayer for them. They don't understand what they're saying. They have no time. That's an absurd statement. Everybody has the same amount of time. We get all there is. So it's what we do with it that's going to make the difference. I just choose for my time to be productive. You see, some people will accomplish more in a week than other people might in a lifetime. It's absolutely absurd. You say, well, how do they do that? Because they make up their mind to. They're going to make their days productive, happy. They're going to have fun. See, all of our pleasure comes from our labor, not our leisure. People are trying to figure out, how can I do nothing? People in iron lungs do nothing. I want to do something. And you want to do it as big and as best you can. So, people say they have no time. They don't really know what they're saying. They say, I can't afford the time or the money for that. They're going to spend the time and the money anyway. If they want it, make a decision and get it.
Well, what about religion? I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that that religion, is in line with the law of attraction, and other people say that it's completely not.
No, it's all in harmony with the laws. The law is God's modus operandi, and it's a strange thing. The Hindus, the Buddhists, the Muslims, the Christians, the Jews, they all pray to the same God. There's only one God. We got hung up in the wrong side of it. If we focus on the sameness in us, you see, we're talking about cultures and religion. When you get past culture, people are essentially the same. We're all an expression of an infinite power, the offspring of a deathless soul, James Allen called us. See, I don't have any problem in any country with religion because I believe in one God, one unfoldment, and one plan. We get hooked into false concepts. We've got to understand that all religion supports these laws. You're told to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be given to you. Where is the kingdom? You're told to look within for that, not outside. We're looking outside. We're looking for some emotional or capricious God on a cloud with a beard. That isn't the way it works. It isn't now and never has been. There's no problem with religion. There's only problem with people in the religion.
Well, when you're trying to generate some more money with the law of attraction, you said earlier that you want to focus on what it is that money's really gonna get for you, whether it's a 3-month trip to cross the world or whatever it may be. What do you recommend to people who want to create more money for themselves?
Well, what do I say to them?
Yeah, what do you recommend?
Well, I'll understand that money is the accumulation of wealth is based on the law of on the law of compensation. The law of compensation very clearly states the amount of money you earn is always going to be in direct ratio to the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. There's a tremendous need for what I do. Just phenomenal. Everybody wants to improve. That's inherent within the human being. In my business, the people I work with, we show people how to improve. We have people, we train people to do this. If anybody wants to learn how to teach this, they should send an email to paul@bobproctor.com. We certify people from all over the world to teach this. It's a phenomenal industry. There's a great need for what we do. So the need is there. We didn't do anything about that. That need is there. It's the need for what you do, your ability to do it. and then the difficulty there is in replacing it. Well, if you keep getting better at doing something, you're going to be very difficult to replace. Now, there's no such thing as an indispensable person, but there's some people that are much better at it than others. I never compete with anybody. If you're competing, you're not creating. If you're creating, you're not competing. Amateurs compete. Professionals create. I just attempt to get better at what I'm doing. I want to communicate more effectively. I want to communicate to more people. And if you keep working at getting better, you're going to. So like Robert Russell said, there's no secret to being great at something. You do little things in a great way every day.
So most people, coming back to what you started with, really don't take that action to learn. I mean, they want to kind of achieve all these benefits without any personal growth, without any personal development, and without taking responsibility for getting them to that next stage. Is that what happens with a lot of people who really don't take this seriously?
Well, people don't understand it. We've never been taught how to earn money. We go right through our educational system, and we're taught nothing about earning money. We have a program that you're very familiar with, The Science of Getting Rich. It's the most complete, comprehensive program in the world on earning money. And it's put together with Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, who is on The Secret, and Jack Canfield, who is on The Secret, and myself. We're associates. We work together. We attempt to improve the quality of the world, and we put together this program that is absolutely incredible. And that's what it's on. It's about earning money. If people want to earn money, they should learn how to earn money.
So the entire course is really just based around creating, using the law of attraction to create money and wealth for themselves and prosperity.
Well, you see, you get into the right vibration when you start to apply the laws. Money is earned. You don't make money. The only people that make money either work in the mint or in jail or they're on their way to jail. Everybody else earns it. And you earn it by providing service. Most people, you earn money working. Working's the worst way to earn money. We should work for satisfaction. You should spend your days doing what you love. Earning money, you earn money by providing service. I was earning money all night when I was sleeping because I was providing service. I've set up a system that does that on the other side of the globe. People were getting up when I was going to bed. Well, when you learn how to provide service, when you start to study with people who really understand how to earn money, and that's something I really understand, then you're going to learn how to do it. But just, attract money, you don't just attract money. You fall in love with the service that you're rendering, and the money will come. I always say money can't talk, but it can hear it. And if you call it, it'll come.
And so this course, The Science of Getting Rich, what exactly, will it do for people?
It will change their life. It's a process. It's something you get involved in. There's live seminar tickets with it. It's on an MP3. It's on CDs. It's on an exercise book. It's in a book. It's in a briefcase. It's a business in a briefcase. The program itself is turned into a business. I would recommend that anybody, I think they can click on a link right where this is, and they can go there and they can get it. And that's really what they want to do, because that's how it works. It always has and it always will.
Great. Well, about the law of attraction, I mean, just kind of finishing up here, what, would you recommend for someone who really wants to start learning and to change their life with this?
Well, first of all, what they should think, if they can hear my voice, they have been attracted to this site or this recording. You have been attracted to me. I've been attracted to you. They have been attracted to us. Now, for them to listen to this and sort of smile and just walk away, they're missing it. They were attracted to this. They should say, what's the message here? And I would say the message is understand what Bob's talking about. He obviously understands it. I want to understand it the way he does. Well, you don't have to take the years to study that I've spent. You can gain from my experience. That's what the Science of Getting Rich program is all about. There's the Science of Getting Rich Club. This is something that is just being introduced. Andrew, you're not even familiar with it. But people that go to the link, they're going to find out about it, and they're going to find out about it very soon, because that's how this world works. You've been attracted to this. Act on it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to end on, Bob. I mean, action. That's one of the things that I've really learned to invest in my own education. Certainly, invested tens of thousands of dollars in my own education. And the ability to really, when you understand something, to take action and move towards it. I think that a lot of people who aren't realizing their dreams really are dropping the ball there. They're just not taking action on where it is that they can get to and what they can achieve. So, Bob, I want to certainly thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to come here and give us some understanding and some clarity on the law of attraction. And for everyone who wants to find out more, you can just click on the link below this recording and get all the information and start changing your life.
Very good, Andrew. Thank you, and I want to thank everybody for coming to this site. And understand that we've been attracted to one another, so don't just pass it on. Act on it.
Well, thanks again, Bob. That was phenomenal information. And once again, if you want to find out more about what Bob is doing, you can go to www.freelawofattraction.com/SGR, and that stands for the Science of Getting Rich. So once again, www.freelawofattraction.com/SGR. And if you're not part of the Free Law of Attraction membership area, well, you're missing out. There's lots of great free resources there that you can use to start learning how to apply the power of Law of Attraction in your own life. So if you're not a member, make sure to go to freelawofattraction.com, sign up, and you'll get access to all that great information that's inside. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks, everybody.